Welcome back to On the Chain. This is Jeff, your host for this evening. Chip will be back with us tomorrow, which will be awesome. We are live, according to John Doe Crypto. Welcome back. It was a short-lived hiatus that YouTube wanted us to take. And fortunately, the powers that be made the correct decision and said, you know what? We made a mistake and you guys need to go back on. So we actually we got a nice notice. They put us straight back on today. We sent out the appeal this morning, and just like that, we're back in business. So outstanding stuff. I do want to say and just throw out a shout of gratitude to everybody. I mean, the list is so long, I couldn't go through and name everybody, but everybody stepped up to the plate. There were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tweets, lots of likes, lots of shares, lots of commentary, and it was amazing. There were tweets to YouTube, to the YouTube creator team, and to the CEO directly. So it was awesome to see. And yesterday we had such a great chat going. We were digging into to Deaton's tweet, really digging into some things. It was absolutely outstanding. I went back, I changed the thumbnail. I don't know if you guys saw it, changed up the thumbnail because we never got into talking about any of the airdrop stuff that I wanted to get into. So we are going to start by digging in a little bit into Ripple and XRP. We're going to get a little bit into airdrops. We are going to talk about how crypto and decentralization is freedom. But you know what? Crypto decentralization and decentralization are there and here to improve global finance for everyone, not just the financial institutions, not just for those at the top of the Ripple guys, or the first that were in Bitcoin, or Vitalik, or any of these guys that have been around for eons. It's not all just about how many billions of dollars they have, or Sam Bankman-Fried. He's that guy's rolling in dough right now from his exchange, or CZ, the head of Binance, or the list goes on and on and on. There's a lot going on. It's all being orchestrated. And you know what? It's amazing. It's so amazing to see. And the truth, will set you free in the end. So when you see the reality, you see exactly what's happening, then amazing things are happening right now, right here. So if you guys are ready to kick this thing off with me, I'm ready to go. I'm fired up. And we're going to talk also about our special guest coming in to OTC next week with us. You guys can hazard a guess. We'll see who that is. But if you guys are ready, I'm ready. We're going to kick this off right now. Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
All right. This is awesome. It's so great to be back. I feel like we were just here together last night. And, just how it goes. It's how it goes. Jim D, welcome back online. Totally pissed at YT for abusing the OTC family. It was in midstream. I had no idea. My phone was blowing up. The Twitter's blowing up. All these things were going on. And here we are living large to be together again. So check this out. Let me read. This was the statement. This was the beginning of the email. Now, think about what I'm going to read you, but think about the exact opposite. This is the email that we got yesterday when they took us down. And then this is the email they sent today. This is just the opening paragraph. We're pleased to let you know that we've recently reviewed your YouTube account, and after taking another look, we can confirm that it is not in violation of our terms and services. We have lifted the suspension of your account, and it is once again active and operational. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. It's really nice when somebody actually goes and looks into what's happening. I'll tell you what, though, I'm pleasantly surprised by this support. So yes, it was taken down. Yes, the analytics, the AI, an individual sitting in a dark room somewhere that's looking into all these things, that's indiscriminately just shutting channels down when they hit certain topics. All that could and is happening. But the thing is, when we had all these tweets going out, there was actually one tweet directly from YouTube, which was great, and you could tell based on that tweet response that they already knew something was a little bit off. So we went through the appeal process, and it was amazing because we submitted this morning, and by afternoon, they released it. I was going through all these different scenarios of what would happen had it dragged on. I was thinking, who do I know in certain places that would make even more noise over something like this? And all the it would have been interesting. Let's put it that way. And I'm really happy to be here with you guys and see that things are going the way that we want it to go. And I do want to give a quick shout out here. I left that one up there for Jim D, but let's check it out here. We got the X Supercar P. So the XRP, big supporter here. Best show. Keep up the hard work. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody that takes their evenings out to hang out with us. So, here's what's great. Somebody said, what happened? That's what happened. Reggie, you talking about us? You talking to me? You talking to me? So, all right. So, you know what? I do have to give a shout out to somebody that's in the chat here real quick because that's just what we got to do.
Come on, man. Berserker.
Berserker's in the house. If you guys don't know Berserker, you guys know Berserker. So, all right, here we go. Ralph Cooper says, I think more YouTube regulators bought XRP over this. I think so too. We had the whole XRP army after them. That's how it works. That's what happened. So we're going to go into some of the things that I wanted to get into yesterday before we were so rudely taken down and put on notice unfairly. So one of the things that I wanted to cover is this idea of airdrops. Now, the airdrops have been going on for a while. Other assets or other digital assets, other platforms have had airdrops. The airdrops are becoming something relatively new to the XRP space, right? So we've seen some interesting airdrops coming through. We know that the Spark token pending, Songbird dropped, but there's some others that are coming out very shortly. Some of them you need to be ready to take the snapshot in the near future, which would be in December. But you do need to establish yourself and either establish yourself with the XummWallet through the trust line on the XummWallet, or if you're going to, connect your ledger directly. The one thing I'm not 100% certain of, but I'm pretty much like 99% certain, is that if you're going to have it on the XummWallet, I believe you need to have all of your XRP that you want to have matched or snapshot for the airdrop. I think everything has to be in your XRP wallet. But like I said, there's a way to connect the ledger. That's a different video, like more of a how-to to go through everything. So we definitely want to be able to go through that. But here, I just wanted to highlight Xumm, and I've been using Xumm a little bit. Now, when you open up the different wallets and the trust lines on Xumm, you do need XRP to allow it to happen. So I tried setting up one of them, and I had switched over remaining XRP over into Songbird, playing around. Then I couldn't switch it back from Songbird to XRP. So I need to spend some time, go back on there. But there was an airdrop of ELS, I think it was, and I had no idea. I didn't even know about it, and it went on free money being airdropped. So we know that we have Songbird, we've got Spark incoming. Now we've got Solo. If you guys don't know Sologenic, so Sologenic, and we talked about this a little bit a couple days ago, but Sologenic is rolling out some also coming out with a couple different platforms here, and they are going to be airdropping Solo on XRP, and that's going to be coming. The snapshot will be end of December, I believe, and then they'll be rolling out the airdrop sometime in January, and that's going to be Solo token. So, if we go over and we can look up where Solo's at right now, what Solo's doing, we'll throw it up on the CoinGecko here in a minute. So that's one of them. The other is Vagabond. Now we dug into Vagabond a little bit. I think Vagabond is interesting. This is look at it. It's an operating system which provides decentralized business apps. Now it's attacking the business space. I think we're just beginning to see the beginning of the potential of what Vagabond can do. Vagabond is dropping on 2 different ledgers, on 2 different platforms. They're coming on the XRP ledger and on the Binance Smart Chain. So that's really exciting. So you're going to get, so if you have XRP, you're going to get airdrop for your XRP. Now, if you're on the Binance Smart Chain, and I believe they'll airdrop if you have BNB. So one or the other, whichever area you find yourself, you might have both, and therefore you will get airdrops on both of them. Now, it's exciting to understand and to watch and to be kind of on the forefront. Now, we kind of have to rely on, we definitely have to rely on our community here, because it's our community that digs into a lot of the research when it comes to these types of things. So one of the things that I really want to do, now we have our Telegram group. So if you go to Telegram, you can find On the Chain Live, On the Chain Roundtable over in Telegram. You can join that. You can have a good in-depth conversation. I would like to be able to see more conversation about things like this, and people within the XRP community can bounce over. There's a lot of spam, and we're going to start adding some more admins over on Telegram so we can dig in and discuss these types of things. I think it's really critical. Now, if we look at some of those that took advantage of ELS, so Jim D is saying JV missed ELS2. There's a companion token coming to ELS holders. Now I need to buy a few ELS at retail. So we really need to do a good job at tracking airdrops. And this is just money. It's like manna falling from the skies, right? It's manna from heaven. Think about, it's free. It's airdropping. It's not free because it's also potentially a taxable event. So depending on what country you're in, make sure you consult with your tax person, your CPA, etc., and just make sure and identify where you stand in that tax realm to see whether or not that's something that could be potentially be applicable for you. Moneybags is saying couldn't get Xumm to activate with 11 XRP. Transaction failed from Uphold, and I think you might need to add more. It's a process. It definitely, all of these things I'm finding is really an in-depth process. So they say, hey, you know what's going to attract mainstream America, mainstream world to the digital asset space? You know what? Mainstream is going to come when it's easy. So the complexity of trying to go after some of these assets. Over the weekend, we're at my buddy's shop, and I was there with another friend of mine. We're sitting around talking, and my buddy's whose place we're at, he said, oh, we're talking about crypto, and I didn't even know he was buying crypto. And then he said he bought something called Pitbull, and he goes, oh man, it's awesome. It went up like 3 or 4 times since he bought it. And it's like up some ridiculous percentage. And it's another meme coin, but there's so many of them. It's like, how do you know? How do you know what to track? To me, if you focus, you can constantly, chase, you can chase the green candles and chase around looking for these projects. You can throw a little money all over the place at these projects, and it could be interesting. Or, you could really look at the projects that are being built on the XRP ledger, and then taking advantage of that. Looking at some of the things going over on the Binance Smart Chain. Now, obviously, there's a lot of ERC20 initiatives. There's all the NFTs. There's so many things that are going on, but you only have so much time and only so much money. So it's great to be able to hone in. Now, if we look at the things going on in the XRP ledger, here you are, you're passionate, you're fired up about, one asset, and here's an opportunity to leverage the asset into another asset. But it's great, right? So here you go. So again, Songbird, Flare, you get the Spark token. Here's an opportunity for the Vagabond. There's an opportunity for Solo. Most of us missed the boat on ELS. Unfortunately, so much. There's so much going on. It's outstanding. It really is amazing, right? I'm loving it. So, all right, K Hud, what is up? Great to see you. So yeah, Steven Hans Loaded is saying, get over to the OTC roundtable on the gram, on the Telegram, and we can have a much better discourse. The one thing we have to do is chase away the spammy trolls that show up everywhere. They're in the comments on YouTube. They show up over on Telegram. They're everywhere. I love how, YouTube, those guys decided to take us offline. Meanwhile, every single day we're bombarded with spam commentary, and we're constantly trying to remove the spam commentary that we get hit with on a regular basis. And it's crazy because a lot of times it says on the chain, and it's everybody recognizes the spam and the scams now, right? You put a WhatsApp number, you put any number, you start talking about Bitcoin, and you reference some guy you were investing with and how great he did for you. It's a scam. That means that YouTube can build an algorithm around it, and they can block that comment, and they can put it back for approval. But they don't do that. So we get so many. It's absurd. It's just so absurd. So Ani is saying 10 XRP to open an account, 2 XRP for each Trustline. So 20 is a good start, which is probably why I couldn't open up the last Trustline because I ran out of XRP that I'd moved over for that. So time to update that. Time to update. So GDLT, if you guys tune in, GDLT, that guy knows his stuff, and you can check him out. He can be dressed as a tiger in a leather jacket, and he's doing his thing, talking about technical analysis, and he really gets in, chasing. And one of the things I got from one of his shows, stop chasing the green candles. Look for the opportunities where you have massive sell-off, and that's one of the things that he looks at. And it's actually one of the ways that when I was trading with stock, I also traded up based on the rubber band theory, that there was an algorithm to look for a certain basket of stocks. And then within that basket, you're basically looking for the ones that were stretched to the oversold category. They're way, way stretched. And the theory is that since they're so oversold, that the possibility of them springing back is very, very high. So when they spring back, they come back with a vengeance. And so, following a similar vein to that, GDLT is doing the research and finding those assets that are in that oversold category that drop off considerably. And that's if you want to do some trading, you want to do a little buying and selling versus if you're in it for the long term, you're in buying, holding, buying, holding, buying, holding, then you're basically dollar cost averaging, then you're diversifying, and you're just buying for the long term. And 5 years, 6 years down the road, 10 years down the road, whenever you decide you want to dip in and say, hey, things are good right now. So let's see. CG is saying you need to send 21 XRP from Uphold to activate Xumm. The reserve is 20. Don't forget about that 20 XRP reserve. Think about when it was 20 cents. It wasn't that expensive. Now at a buck something, think about every wallet is now costing you $20. I remember when XRP hit over $3, we were talking about $60 to $70 in reserve just to open up an XRP wallet. Think about the cost. And I made a video once about that said that at some point, if things continue down this path, that XRP is going to be unaffordable. It just won't be affordable. Now, the one thing as a side note out of all of this, because I just brought it up and we're talking about what it takes, the reserve. But the one thing with the reserve on wallets is that it can be adjusted. It can be changed based on a vote of the validators. And that's one thing that they orchestrated, and it helps based on, putting in this reserve helps keep out all the scam and the spam and, all that stuff that could take place if there was a low cost. So they kind of set this threshold to have a specific cost to really help protect the overall asset. So if we end up leveraging based on my theory is that XRP was never meant for retail consumption in the long run, that if it does scale, that once it does go to scale, they'll also make it so that the wallet will still be cost prohibitive. So think about, as it scales at a minor adjustment, they could say, hey, you know what? Let's say XRP gets to $10, right? So that $10, now it's $200, to open up a wallet, $200. So even if they bring it down to 10, it's $100. How many people are going to put $100 into reserve and then it scales more, and then that cost of that wallet could continue to increase. I don't know, just something that I always thought about, that it's a method or a way to keep more when mainstream finally comes in to the crypto space. If they didn't want, I don't know. So just a thought, just a crazy thought. Want to give a quick shout out to Notorious XRP, always there, always supportive, always awesome. Always, he also puts out some outstanding videos out there. So make sure you go check out Notorious. And again, I do want to give a huge shout out to everybody in the space across the board. There were so many people, a lot of big YouTube names that you're all familiar with. They all came out, including attorney John Deaton came out and also put some commentary out there. So big, shout out and thank you to John Deaton. So a lot of great things coming up. Look at this. GDLT is saying SHX Stronghold token is the newest oversold crypto that I like. They have partnership with Ripple and Coil. So there you go. Check out GDLT. Don't just, run out and buy it because he put a comment in there. Go into his chat and really understand how he dissects it. How he's thinking about that process, and giving more reason and rationale as to why he likes SHX in that oversold position. So I think that's really, really, really key. So let's see. Let me break this down. I'm so high up in the chat. Let's see here. All right. XRP Ninja. Lots of OGs here now. It's awesome. It's great to see so many people, coming in here. I'll never tell you what to do. There you go. He doesn't tell you what to do. He just gives you an idea of what he's doing, but goes in and you get to understand his brain and his thought process just a little bit. So, all right, where are we? We're talking about a little bit of the Vagabond, a little bit about the Solo, a little bit on the XRP, on the XummWallet. All right, so let me share this one here. So we'll get into this. This is from the XRPL Labs, right? So we're proud to announce that the Integrators, legal entity behind XRP Labs, creators of the XummWallet, successfully registered with the Dutch Central Bank, DNB, in line with regulations relating to cryptocurrency to fiat currency trading. So how exciting is that? There's some things that are really moving. This was posted the other day. So a couple of days ago, I had seen this. It's been sitting, it's been waiting, and here you go. So there's things going on all over the world. So you've got the Dutch Central Bank working. Look at that. I mean, that's outstanding. It really is. And there's things going on all over the place. So let's bounce over here. Check out what the European Fintech regulation is all about. So this was also a few days back, and Ripple posted this. I think this is really, it's a solid article over there on fintech. But look at this. European fintech regulation around AI, crypto, and blockchain can act as guidance for other regions to follow. How? By providing a framework for long-term innovation. Our head of policy, Susan Friedmen, explains via the Fintech Times. Did I say the Financial Times? I meant the Fintech Times. Let me get that one open. Let me see. Let's open that one up. Let's see if it opens. Are we going to get blocked? Oh, wait a minute. I already had it open. Here it is. So there it is. The Fintech Times. Wait a minute. All right, here we go. Ripple, why Europe's fintech regulatory approach is... Wait a minute. Is it not going to let me zoom in? It's not going to let me zoom in. How do you like that? I'm getting blocked by the website to not allow me to zoom in. Try that again. Nope. Doesn't like the zoom. How nice. So Why Europe's fintech regulatory approach is world leading. This is great. This was from October 30th. Now, just imagine. So here you have Susan Friedmen, right? She's the head of public policy at Ripple, where she engages policymakers worldwide to guide and advise on crypto and blockchain regulation. Now, this is so key. This is really, really key. She's going out, outreach to the policymakers, right? We need the policymakers to truly understand regulation because they got to make they're the ones who have to draft it. They have to understand before they draft. That's unfortunate that in this infrastructure bill, quote unquote, they crammed some crypto legislation in there, and it is not beneficial whatsoever to the crypto space. Apparently, they were not listening to Susan Friedmen when they didn't think it through, but they obviously did not reach out to her. But prior to this, Friedman was the senior advisor to the CFTC chairman Heath Tarbit in his previous capacity as Treasury's Assistant Secretary for International Markets. In this role, she regularly advised and collaborated with Treasury officials on matters including international financial services regulation, investment security, and trade. Now, I know we've talked about her before, but does anybody in their right mind, in their normal mind, think that Ripple, for whatever reason, chose to ignore the law, to ignore regulation, to ignore anything pertaining to security law? I mean, is there any possibility in any realm? Maybe it's in some other universe somewhere where you've got gangster Brad Garlinghouse running around, in a leather coat and a mohawk, and he's not about trying to figure out how to navigate through the red tape. I mean, I just don't believe it. So here you have, and the reason why you don't believe it is because they hire all the top talent. They're bringing everybody in. I mean, here you have Susan Friedman, head of public policy. She's a who's who, right? Here she was working in the space. She's out there consulting with policymakers to do it the right way. Now, all of a sudden, the SEC is going to come in and say, hey, Ripple, you've got a whole team of people that are rolling around the world working with policymakers, helping to educate them. But you guys missed it. You missed the boat completely. You guys screwed up. You just ignored the security laws and everything else. And you're wrong. That it's just not possible, right? It's just not. It's asinine is what it is. So as a global financial superpower, the U.S. has often been the provider of regulatory blueprints that spur new innovation and investment, which is 100%, right? Now, I like how they just emphasizing targeting the growth of Silicon Valley. If you think about the 90s, had they not been regulatory friendly to the invent of all these different things, that were going around the internet in those days, the internet wouldn't be where it is today. If the SEC and this and others, decided, some senators and maybe the Treasury Secretary and some ignorant congressional representatives, if they got on board and they said, you know what, we are going to regulate this internet thing into the ground. We want to chase all innovation out. We don't want the innovation here in the US. We don't want it in Silicon Valley. We don't want it in we want it somewhere else. It shouldn't be in the US. I mean, could you imagine that thought process? And then say, oh, you know what? Maybe there's a way we can, squeeze some tax dollars out of this internet thing. This internet thing, it's a fad anyways. It's never gonna succeed. What's this Amazon thing with selling used books online? They're never gonna succeed. They're gonna fail. We have Barnes and Nobles and Borders. You guys probably don't even know it. Well, a lot of you guys know Borders, but who knows Borders anymore, right? Even Barnes and Noble, the Barnes and Noble down the street here, I heard they're turning into another Publix grocery store. Like, what? We don't need another Publix. In like a, I don't know how many mile radius. We must have like 10 Publix grocery stores that I can get to in like a 5-minute drive. Crazy stuff. But anyhow, so nurturing growth. It would be an oversight to miss the link between increased regulatory activity in the fintech secretary and the industry's growth. In the last few years, European regulators and local market authorities have introduced a range of new guidance and regulations in the finance and fit. So here they have, and this is so poignant because Susan is referencing how they've created a regulatory friendly environment for fintech over in Europe. Right, we know what some of the initiatives that took place over in the UK. We know in some other countries. We just pointed out what Wietse Vin over there, was talking about with the Dutch central bank, how they're tying in. But how amazing is this stuff, right? I mean, this is what you need. You need a regulatory friendly environment. You don't want an burdening. You don't want these zealots that are trying to squeeze your blood, trying to get water out of a rock, and they're just trying to get every last, ounce of what you have, which is insane, and that's kind of like, some of the mindset over here is what they're trying to do. But we want a regulatory friendly environment. We want basically the rules of the road, rules of engagement that don't strangle us. We need to be able to grow. We need to be able to build. We need to be able to be leaders in this space. We see other countries, and we're going to show that even Panama is looking to become a little bit more crypto friendly with the adoption of Bitcoin again. So it's so key. It's so important. I just want to give a quick shout out here to Michelle XRP. Awesome to have you here. Awesomeness. Up and running. We are up and running. Awesome to see you here, and thanks for the support. That's outstanding. So Manny is asking, any thought on how to calculate the amount of solo each person will receive from the drop? There is a calculation out there somewhere, but I would have to find it. I think I'll find it for tomorrow night, and we can dig into that one a little bit tomorrow and go through that one. Also want to make sure I didn't miss this one. Rob XRP, welcome back. You were missed, and we were... The great thing is we were down for, we got basically terminated yesterday around the 30-minute mark, maybe 31-minute mark. All of a sudden I'm going strong. All of a sudden the phone rings and I look down and say, hey, you're not streaming anymore. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm right here. There's like 283 people in here with me. No, we were gone. It was nice. They just took us down. So here you go. One more here. European regulation and providing a framework for long-term innovation, right? Putting its own stamp on best practice innovation and collaboration with the private sector, demonstrating and understanding that regulation is vital to winning consumer trust. Think about consumer trust, retail consumer trust, right? Retail investor trust, all those different things. It's so key, so critical. And yet, here we are, we're over here, and our guys are missing the boat. But that's okay. You know why? Because the army got together. We got the whole XRP army, and they gathered over there, and they're out in front of Daddy G's house right now, as they always are. And let me just show you. Here's a brief video that was just sent.
Go, Gary, go! Go, Gary, go! Go, Gary!
I love it. Now they're saying that, just as what happened here is that Gary Gensler was going over there. He's having a conversation with everyone, and they were all following him, and they were... Oh, God, I love it. So... anyhow, all right, what do we got here? Hey, if you guys are brand new, we got over 200 people in right now, and that's even after we got pulled down yesterday. But great to be back. Everyone's super ecstatic. If you're brand new here and you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. Yeah. How many times do we got to say it? Here we go. Let's just show. Here's how you do it. It's a red button, and you click it. Right, it says subscribe, then you hit the bell notification. Now, honestly, if you hit the bell notification, it does help the overall algorithms. But the other thing is that when you hit that around like the 20-minute prior to go live, you'll get a notification, give you a little friendly nudge, little friendly reminder. Sometimes I need it because then I'm like, oh my God, we got 20 minutes and it's time to get out there, and start getting everything set up. So anyhow, man, it's a good night. We're all fired up here, right? Gensler the gangster, the G-man. That's awesome. Can you talk about how Sologenic is bringing more utility to the XRP ledger? I think that's also great. I think we need to talk about that. I want to get into that one tomorrow too. I think we'll dig in a little bit deeper into some of the project, especially Sologenic. Sologenic is doing a lot, on the XRP with the XRPL and the engagement, and so I think that's important. Now there's a couple exchanges engaged with the XRPL, right? You've got Sologenic and some of the things that they're working on and doing. You've got BitRoot. There's some projects that are building up to launch NFTs, and I think we're going to see Sologenic get into the NFT space. There's a lot going on within and around the NFTs, and right now the majority of the NFTs are all through ETH, and the gas cost is astronomical. And I talked about this before. I went into this. There was a game called Rev Racing, and I thought it'd be awesome. My son loves racing. Plays some different games or whatever. So say, how cool would it be? I'm gonna find a game where he can actually earn some asset, right? Do some play to earn. Do something. He's always over there. I don't know how much money we pour into games. He always comes over. Hey, can I spend? Can I get something on this app? Can I get something over on the PlayStation? Can I get this? Can I get that? And they load it up. And at the end of the day, what do you do with that? Can you sell it? Can you monetize it? Maybe he'll make a professional career, playing Rocket League or something. I don't know. But, the point being is that, so you have this Rev Racing. I go and try to buy the car to get the whole thing started. And you're basically, you're trying to, burn ETH and burn gas costs. And it was ridiculous. Just trying to go through the process of trying to, move it and get the car. And it just was not good. So let's see. Hydroponics Alan is saying, hello, Jeff. Shout to Jim D. Hello, hands loaded. XRP Speedboat. Thanks for helping this channel out with all the hard work and dedication. I truly appreciate all you guys. Really amazing. So I don't know about eToro. I'm sure eToro can factor in somehow into this whole thing. So I'm sure that's there too. We'll have to dig in. We have a little bit of time on if you're talking about airdrops. I think that's what you're referencing. But the airdrops for Solo, that's not until the end of December. So we have a little bit of time to figure that out and dig in a little bit deeper, which will be awesome. So, all right, let's go. What do we have here? Oh, this was awesome. This was I like this. There's actually two cool things here. And this also came from Ripple. Now, think about improving the financial space for everybody. Now, one of the things that they launched recently was that liquidity hub for enterprise solution. I think that's really key. But overall, check this out. This is Ripple. We're using crypto to help improve the global financial system for everyone, everywhere. Ready to build something transformative with us? Take a look at our open engineering positions. What's that all about, right? Create impact crypto solutions, right? Check it out. Building Ripple, RippleNet engineering, RippleX engineering. Check out their coding over here, doing some exciting things. And just to, they're looking at like kind of a shout out, I was going to say to the world, but we got Jennifer's in San Fran. We got Florin over here in Singapore and Anshul over here in Boston, and so here we've got the Ripple engineering blog. They're hiring for, so they're getting activated here. They're getting fired up. There's a lot going on over in the Ripple space, and they're not holding back. right? So XRP Crypto Wolf is saying Ripple is changing the world for the better. So it doesn't make sense why the SEC would go after such an amazing company when there's real scammers out here. I like how Tony from Thinking Crypto says because scams affect retail, which they don't care about. But Ripple's tech disrupts the banking cartel, which they are paid to protect. That's interesting. Huh. I don't know. Very interesting. This one from Sarah Fans. I don't know what language that is. Can't read it. So won't be translating it. Then you've got the whale alert. Oh, they got Rob Art. We haven't seen Rob Art pop up for a while. Maybe he's hanging out with Vincent Wilson. We got Rob Art and Vincent Wilson hanging out together somewhere. So check it out. Oh, and then this is cool too, right? We had talked about this already, but look at Flare Utility. We received our airdrop. Watching this one closely. This is for aesthetics art airdrop for the XRP holders. Here's another one. So here's the ELS that we were talking about earlier. Website. I don't know how I missed this because we had it on. We talked about it. We dissected it and somehow completely missed the airdrop. So I'm going to have to rely on you guys that we got to stay on top of this stuff and we cannot miss the boat on these airdrops. We got to make sure that that we're 100% on with that. If something's going on in the community, we got to jump on it, which is awesome, right? So what do we got here? Hydroponics over here. Money's been tight for the last 2 months, but here's a little something for the community. Man, appreciate that. That's really awesome. Really, really awesome. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you guys being here. Really, really cool. So let's see. What do we have? There's some good things going on over here. Okay. Manny's saying, wish there was a crypto completely dedicated to its purpose to helping people who've been scammed in crypto. Man, you know what? That would be interesting. That would be a project because there's a lot of scams going on out there. Some of it, you can avoid. Some of it you can't avoid, kind of like the whole BitConnect thing, right? So if you remember BitConnect, that was one that was tough to avoid because you never know, some of the things that could just sneak up on you and you just don't know. Others, hey, send me 100 XRP and I'll give you 10 Bitcoin. Those types of scams, those are avoidable, where we know better. It's like, we know we shouldn't do that. And yet, you still get drawn in sometimes. So you got to avoid that. Don't, send money just for the heck of it. So, got pulled back over to the Twitter thing going on here. And now I want to pull this up because this was an article with our buddy Brad Garlinghouse. Now, this isn't the badass Brad Garlinghouse we were talking about earlier in the different universe that wasn't doing things the right way. This is the Brad Garlinghouse that is kicking ass over here, taking on the SEC and building out a phenomenal company, which is Ripple, and also really orchestrating some amazing things within the blockchain space and standing up, for crypto overall and standing up for the digital asset XRP, because the SEC, as we know, and which is exactly what we were talking about yesterday, is that the SEC has decided to bully. They've decided to bully the company Ripple, but more than that, they decided to bully retail investors. They came out against the XRP community. And that, in my book, is 100% wrong and contrary to what they do. 100% contrary to what they're supposed to be doing. So there you go. There you have it. There you have it. So anyhow, so Ripple CEO says it's a joke that some execs believe the SEC isn't harming crypto. I mean, it's so obvious, right? So we see what the SEC is doing. We know they're coming after Ripple. There's other projects out there that say, look, we're not going to get involved. It's kind of like the Blockchain Association. There's supposed to be an organization dedicated to educating and making sure that you don't have, these types of things happen. They need to be super outspoken. And then they seem to they've all fallen, kind of into a black hole when it comes to Ripple. We don't hear a lot of talk from them, and you really have to wonder why. So here, Ripple Labs, the $10 billion valuation startup behind the digital currency XRP, has ridden a wave of interest in crypto. Transactions on its payment network have gained 33% in the third quarter. Huge. That's massive. Look at it. It's bolstering its bank balance to more than 500 million. Blank check companies have approached the firm about taking it public through a merger, said CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Now, if you look at the SPAC, the blank check companies, the way they do it, so they'll have this basically a holding company. Somehow that company gets listed, and then what they'll do, that company then comes in and buys the other company, like a Ripple. They'll come and buy them, and then they just transfer the shares, and it's such an interesting process. Beachbody, if you guys know Beachbody out there, the athletic workout company, so they recently did a SPAC. Who else did it? There was another. Payoneer did a SPAC not that long ago. There were some direct listings that didn't go through the SPAC, like Palantir and what is that? Why I just blanked out on the game. I don't know. It was another good one. Man, it's up crazy. I can't. That was a good buy, actually. Good stock buy. It's up crazy amounts. But things couldn't be going better before the Securities and Exchange Commission sued the company in December over charges that Ripple had violated securities law. Right? Ripple's currency was the third most popular crypto. Now, I don't. When they say that it's Ripple's currency, it really isn't. Yeah, it's been tied in that way. It really isn't. But XRP, which is a stand on its own asset, not Ripple's asset. Granted, yes, they were gifted a significant amount, 55 billion, and they're holding that in escrow, but it is not their asset specifically. The startup has lost more lucrative deal with money transfer. Yeah, I don't know. MoneyGram, that whole thing with MoneyGram, they kind of moved away. The SEC's posture towards crypto in the U.S. is definitely hurting innovation, said Garlinghouse. He said clear regulation is pushing entrepreneurs overseas, a sentiment echoed by Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong. The U.S. has not provided those same opportunities for fertile ground to germinate the next Amazon of crypto. Now, that's super, super powerful. If we look at what he's saying here, and he's basically putting an accusation right at the feet of the SEC, saying it's your fault if we don't see a massive growth in the innovation over here in the U.S. It's the fault of the SEC for stifling the innovation, for pushing all of the biggest entrepreneurs overseas. And it's probably a nice way for Garlinghouse to say, get your act together. Otherwise, we have no real ties and we'll leave too. Coinbase potentially do the same thing. I don't know. Coinbase is publicly traded now, but the point is that they're going to speak. They have all these words, they can say a lot of things. But the one thing that is happening, and it's happening at such a rapid pace right now, is that these companies are going to leverage the money that they have, and they have a lot of money. And so think about how much money Coinbase makes. Think about how much money Ripple's making. Now, multiply that across how many companies that are just generating huge amounts of dollars. Look at FTX. He's not even based over here. But the thing is, the Miami arena is the FTX arena. They're pouring tons of money into things. They're going to pour more money into lobbying. They're going to orchestrate the outcome that they want. But if the SEC continues, the administration continues, they're going to keep stifling the growth. And that's exactly what Brad Garlinghouse is cautioning against. He's basically saying, you got to wake up. You can't continue down this path because it's obviously no good. So, hey, one thing that that we've been wanting to do is pick out a new project, something interesting that's happening in this space, and talk about it briefly. We kind of get into XRP stuff, get into other news. We obviously intertwine that, and then try to identify and find interesting projects. So here's an interesting one. Where's my screen? Hang on. So this I found is interesting because here's something. It's Coinbase inspired. It's called Centcex. Centex would be better. Maybe that C is silent. Is that possible? Centex. Much easier to say. Launch. So it's launching over in somewhere, maybe in California. Coinbase is one of the biggest blockchain-based cryptocurrency exchanges today. Didn't know that. Glad that they mentioned it. The native coin for Coinbase is called Coin. That I did not know. I did not know that Coinbase do they have Coin? I don't think they have Coin. I do know they have a stock called Coin with those 4 letters. I do not believe that they have a native coin, as far as I'm aware. Coinbase Exchange has been around since 2012. Over the years, Coinbase has grown to be one of the biggest exchanges. Today, millions of investors are trading hundreds of tokens on Coinbase. Okay, great. Now, enter Centex. The native coin for the Centex exchange is Centex. It is a Binance Smart Chain token. So it's using the BSC. Apparently they're going to be building on the BSC, not building on the XRP ledger. Here, just like Coinbase, Centex is planning to develop one of the biggest. Okay, it's great to plan. They're planning to develop, but that's okay. They're just getting started. They're setting. So you've got a whole bunch of exchanges rolling around out here, but they're inspired by Coinbase, and they're planning on singling out and taking on Coinbase. All the power to them. I'm not saying they can't. It's just funny when you see that. It's awesome though. It's like an awesome kind of funny. They're inspired by one of the biggest, and that's what they want to achieve, that level. Phenomenal. If they're focused on that, that's great. I like how Evan came right out like that. BSC is a garbage platform backed up by Binance. So obviously, they need to think through that part of it. But anyhow, so according to the Centex team, they want to address major flaws in Coinbase. The platform will also give users a better Coinbase experience. That's funny. That's cool. All right. The number of areas they want to compete against. One, I think is that they want easier trading. So far, it's been pretty easy to trade on Coinbase or Coinbase Pro, but that's awesome. It's awesome they want to do that. Security, big issue. They're focusing in on Coinbase that was hacked, and they obviously a little bit of money lost. There were about 6,000 coins stolen. Unlike Coinbase, Centex will be providing users with high security and privacy features. Awesome. They got to prove it. Issues of user experience with Coinbase. Obviously a problem. A lot of people aren't happy with Coinbase, but another really big part of this is going to be the tax. The platform is setting aside 3% of the 10% tax collected from transaction to fund unlimited products. Unlimited. They're going to keep making products because they're going to take 3% of 10%. The 3% of the tax will buy back and burn tokens from the liquidity pool. That's interesting too. I don't know how they figure out how that all works out. And references, not 100% sure. Centex is building a platform that will reward members. They have a staking program share up to 80% of revenue collected from new products. I think they might have some regulatory hurdles with some of this stuff. One of them might be their Centex potentially being a security, but I think they will have to figure out some of these issues. Centex announced a public sale. It's actually going to take place tomorrow, I believe. I think I went on there, and their public sale will be tomorrow. I think that's when it was. You can go check it out. I thought it was interesting. It's always cool. You can pop in here and just start looking for for some new projects, some things that are going on. See if there's anything cool. Maybe it's good. maybe it's not so good. It's just great. So I like how, a lot of these exchanges, they talk about security and they're going to be the best, and they're going to do it better than everyone else. And meanwhile, Coinbase is, leveraging and really supporting a lot, as are some of the others, and exchanges will have some issues, but sometimes, talking about the security thing, not always so easy. So, but anyhow, I thought that was kind of cool to look at. And then something over here, which I thought was also really cool. This kind of came up in the news, and I'm always looking for mainstream news. When there's mainstream news referencing to the digital asset space, that's kind of how you have an idea that the digital asset space is really taking on a life of its own. And that's exactly what we've got over here. Um, Hang on a second. Is this an ad? Oh, it is an ad. Wait, no, this is an ad. Hang on. Is this what I was trying to play? I don't. Let me just pause this guy. How come I can't pause him? There we go. They have a video. It's just annoying me. All right, but what's cool about this? Let me share it real quick. This is InvestEd deciding whether to invest in Bitcoin. Here are other big names in crypto, right? So here's the significance of this. Obviously, it's right there. So, but the one thing that we see across the board is that we have countries, we have companies, we have so much investment and recognition, identification of Bitcoin as the primary, right? So they're really looking at that from that perspective. Bitcoin, 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 El Salvador, Zimbabwe, Panama, Miami, Michael Saylor, Tesla, the list goes on and on and on. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. So now the significance of this is one of the first times that you're seeing a mainstream article say Bitcoin. Well, hey, what about some other assets? Here's some other assets in the list. And let's go through the top. I like what GDLC said here. DEX instead of SEX any day. SEX with a C. Sorry. So DEX and SEX. SEX with a C. Just to clarify that one. All right, so let's go through this. Here's the significance, right? Right here on their I can't even say it. So a lot of terminology for you can think of the acronyms. CNN fits into many different things, and none of them really fall on quality news. But in this case, CNN Business. So here we have Bitcoin, the first most popular digital currency, soared to all new time high, near 70K this week. This is so the mainstream, they get fired up when there's something newsworthy. When Bitcoin goes, when it went down to 3,000, that was newsworthy. When it hits all-time highs it's newsworthy. When it's climbed almost 125,000 per 125%, 125,000, we'd be talking a whole different language right now. 125%. The first Bitcoin ETF started trading that last month, allowing investors to get into crypto craze without actually buying the currency outright. Well, they also forgot about Grayscale, because Grayscale allows you to get in, which is really cool. Even some of Wall Street's biggest names, most notably, hey, our buddy Jamie Dimon, right, remains skeptical of the staying power of crypto. I mean, this guy, he's going to keep saying that long into his grave. So for investors new to the space, the myriad of coins can be daunting. How cool is this? So again, Bitcoin, everyone's thinking Bitcoin, but they look at like, oh, but it's 70,000. Can you still grow with it? And they're looking and they're concerned. And they say, well, you know what? Let's look at, some other things. Ethereum. And this has always been the natural progression. Bitcoin, Ethereum, what's next on the list? Hey, quick shout out to DNI, Digital Nomad Investor. What is up over in Thailand? On the chain live. Hey, congrats on the appeal. Hi, XRP family. Record timing. We had multiple people say, hey, I can't believe that it happened so quick. It's just like, set it up, and then that's it. And then we're good to go. So, all right. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then people get into that and they're like, I'm a little shocked. They went, but they're looking at the top three, right? They're saying, okay, let's go to BNB. It's up there. It grew crazy amounts. I mean, when everything was at its low, it was down to like $12, and it's insane, right? Binance also was hiring the best of the best. Who did they hire? Brian Brooks. He came from the OCC, right? The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. That guy was huge, right? Now he's the CEO of Bitfury, another Bitcoin mining company. So Brian Brooks, he's in the know. He knows what he's doing. He's making his way around. Tether, this is kind of a joke. Again, think about the source, the concept. I'm looking at the concept, right? Let's look at the top coins. Let's dig into them. And we're talking about investing, right? So isn't that the premise? Deciding whether to invest, right? Isn't that the key here? Invest. So Anakin, sorry about that, but I was with you for a little bit. I was getting excited, kind of going Bitcoin, getting Ethereum. I understand. I'm not so excited with Binance Coin, but I get it. It's in the top three because all you have to do is go to CoinMarketCap. Then big letdown. Tether. It's a stable coin. Why are you discussing a stable coin when we're talking about investing? Makes no sense, right? But they're going to reference it. So I guess it's kind of important because you got to explain. But let's talk this. Then you get excited again because now we get into Solana. And Solana, there's a lot of conversation that it's not just a competitor of Ethereum, but it is going to do bigger things than Ethereum. Now, it's amazing, right? 10,000% growth. Where was I? Like, what was I doing when I wasn't looking at Solana in March of 2020? What was I doing in March of 2020 that I missed out on this? I didn't invest in it, but this is okay. Let's keep going. Now there's nothing else. That's it. That's where it ends. No summary. That's it. But look at this. Outpacing fellow crypto Cardano and XRP. There you go. See that? Which have also been in the top 5. Now, again, I like the overall concept of the article. It's smart because why is it smart as we go through this? Because you're kind of breaking down the flow of Bitcoin, Ethereum, top 3, top 5, top 6, top 10, and then you get down into Cardano, XRP, and they're referenced, but they're like, whatever, kind of at the bottom. But overall, it's important. Mainstream, they're adopting the mindset. So moving from Bitcoin and moving their way down into other assets. And that's exactly how it's going to happen. So, Sophie, appreciate you. Great show. Glad you're back. Night, OTC family. Smartest people in crypto. That's right. We have the slowest growing channel in YouTube crypto space, but by far we have the smartest. We attract the best and the brightest right here on the chain. Thank you very much, Frank. It's good to be back. I'm glad to be here. It's amazing to be here. So that's it. You guys are amazing. If you haven't done so already, hit that button. It looks like a subscribe. Hang on. It looks better over here. It's red. Subscribe. Hit the bell notifier. You guys know what to do. Hit the thumbs up. Leave some comments. That's awesome. Stay tuned. If you go over to onthechain.io, you can catch up on all of our different videos. You can go in there. You can even put your email in, register. We put everything together on the website. We take articles that we review, put them up there. There's other ways to support On the Chain over on the website as well that you can check out. A lot of things going on. Next week, we have a very special guest. I'm going to drop one hint. He has introduced bills to Congress and very influential as a congressional representative and very influential in the crypto space. And we will announce who it is tomorrow so you guys can throw in all sorts of guests in the meantime if you want to throw them into the video, but we will announce who it is tomorrow. So Until then, Chip will be back. My great co-host will be back here with me co-hosting tomorrow night. Until then, look forward to seeing all of you guys right back here. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.